one of my favorite nicknames for myself is Apocalypse. So I'll share a tiny bit of coming out because it happened in waves throughout my life. But first, I would like to teach y'all something. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. I'm from the South, and we say things such as, bless your heart, and that's nice, which everyone knows is just code for fuck you. I have the perfect new Southern way to say that. And all of you who are friends with one another, you can share this. Please, let's find an appropriate short hashtag for it, going forward. And I'm happy to take ideas afterwards. When somebody is pontificating, just going off, whether it's on their own timeline or they've taken over yours, and you're too polite to block them, which get over that shit, all you need to say, or write, is, thank you for your perspective. Let's try that together, shall we?
Thank you for your perspective.
See how good that makes you feel, right? What about that person who replies all to the office email? You know there's one. No matter how many times we're told, reply individually, there's always that one. So I always like to reply back, Dear Kevin, thank you for your perspective. Kindly, Shawn. And everybody who knows me knows that I just told Kevin, fuck off, egotistical VP. But anyway, so please take thank you for your perspective, use it on your timelines, use it in your social media, use it at work. No one's gonna know but you. You can have a little giggle on a Wednesday when you really need it. And again, if we figure out a shorter hashtag, because that's pretty wordy, let me know. Okay? Now, being from the South, I have a family that was, well, let's just say my adopted mother was worse than the Wicked Witch of the West. Bless her soul. May she rest in peace. Yes. Now, since she's passed on, my adopted father has started using words like anus and vagina, and I'm like, what have you done with him? Where is my real dad? But growing up, I remember one time trying to tell him, like kind of doing the waves, like you've always heard, oh, that Shawn Catherine is such a queer child. And I would think, yes, somebody gets me. No, I would just try to prove, like, you think I'm weird? Y'all are so wrong. I can go so much further. Anyways, so one time, Daddy and I are sitting on the porch, because that's what you do, and we were talking about same sex in nature, same sex, and he was just having his like little moment. I didn't know thank you for your perspective at the time. But God, the universe, the flying spaghetti monster did. Because we had two male dogs, Paco and Dog. And Dog was going away on Paco. And I said, well, Daddy, if it's not nature, why is Dog fucking Paco right now? And Daddy just went, look. Like if he could have had a mic, he would have thrown it down, walked inside the house. So that was like the first conversation. And then several years later, I was back home for a high school reunion because, that's what we do. We bring poke cakes and show each other how well we've done, especially if you've escaped like I have to normalcy. And I was sitting around the living room with my aunt, who are older sisters of my dad, and they were going off about politics. And I thought to myself, I'm just trying to keep my mouth shut, really trying to keep it shut, trying to have an open mind, kind of like if somebody's blowing up my timeline. But finally, something happened, and I remember looking at my dad, just cut my eyes at him, and he looked at me and he said, "Don't tell me you're a libtard." And I said, "No, Daddy, I'm just a queer libertarian." And that was it. We have never had another discussion about sexual orientation, sexual preferences, or politics. And I thought, damn, that's all I had to do. Yes. My aunts just went like this. I thought like their false teeth were gonna fall out. I was like, God, if only I had known that like decades before. I'm not really a libertarian, but that just wanted to say like the worst thing I could think of in his mind. And that was worse than being queer, so I was like, yeah, who knew? So, yeah, that was part of my story. So now, we're kind of comedians. I'm sure a lot of you are in the audience are performers. We've all been there. And we deal with our share of heckling, right? We get people in the audience, they think they can tell a joke funnier than us. They think that they've got better timing, whatever. We all deal with it, and we give it a little give and take, or we have people throw them out, whatever. Last night, I was calling bingo at my church, and I had a heckler. I thought to myself, I kind of pride myself on my bingo calling. It took me a lot to get here. It wasn't really a thing of honor to be one. And now some little missy's going to give me grief because I am holding up numbers when we're doing 4 corners and the ends don't count, and I'm showing like N33. And I said, okay, I'll go faster. I'll just say the number. I won't show it. And she goes, yeah, right. I'm like, I heard you. I said, do you really think that will bother me? I said, do you really think that I can't make this longer and more torturous for you? All right, here we go. G58. Am I going to hear anything else out of you all night? No? Thank you. Next number, B12. Get that shot. Thank you so much. I'm Shawn Fisher.